What up, y'all? It's the Momentum Podcast.
Yeah, so what is that podcast called?
It's called like Momentum.
Man, I took a lot of grief inside watching them get their ass kicked for 10 years. I got to tell you that. I was in Alabama, and man.
What'd they say?
Oh, God. Well, Alabama was winning every year. It was terrible.
Oh, when you were in the Alabama
When I was in rough spots. Like, people think I was in this camp. Like, that's not how it went. The first 8 years I was in, like,
I thought like white collar crimes, they put you in like freaking
when you get more than 10 years, nah. I was
like the longer the sentence, the worse.
What?
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I was in. Listen.
So you're with murders.
Well, it was going down. I can't get into it on my thing because I'm in custody. But yeah, man, it was popping off hard. So if I was a rat, I would have gotten mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You never got in a fight?
I had, there are a few situations inside.
A few scuffles?
There's a few situations.
Because I heard like day one when they get in, someone challenges you on a fight. And then that's how the rest of the group kind of dictates, like, do we respect this guy? How much can we push him? Is that accurate or not?
Well, there's a lot that goes in. There's a lot behind that world, man. Let's put it this way. If you look out at nighttime, you're standing on your dock.
Yeah.
And you see those stars in the sky.
Yeah.
That's how far away prison is from the real world. It's its own planet.
It's the Wild West.
Depending where you go, man. Prison's still prison. But like if you're in a camp, the last 2 years, I was fortunate enough.
Do you have to like align yourself with certain groups?
Well, I was like,
like there's the
let me just tell you,
the white dudes, the gangs.
Well, yeah,
the black group.
that's a whole nother topic in itself. But the answer is yes, depending on the level of security prison you're in. Yeah. So like I was in Fort Dix. It was the biggest prison in America. At the time, the largest. There were 5,200 inmates. To give you a comparison, when I left the camp I was at, there was 120 people.
Oh, geez.
Great disparity.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you got a lot of shit going on. Blacks, whites, And
everyone's trying to. So are there kind of cliques? Like you have to be a part of a group to like protect
for me,
yourself?
When I was in Fort Dix, luckily for me, my case was an 050 case. The last three numbers of my case is out of Newark.
Okay.
So that was home team.
What does that mean?
So I was on their, I was part of their car.
What do you mean?
I was like a Jersey case.
Oh, so if you're a local guy,
if you got an 050, if your paperwork is good, meaning you're not a rat, and they go through it all.
The inmates.
Good. Oh yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot I can't really talk about because I'm in custody right now.
That's a crazy world, man.
But man, if I had a chance,
I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm just fascinated.
If I had a chance to address, like when I'm out of custody, the documentaries they're gonna be unreal.
Yeah.
And
who was the scariest dude in jail?
Who?
Yeah.
Individually or
just in general? Was there what was the most frightening experience where you're like, oh, like this is about to go down?
Oh, that was daily.
Really? Daily?
Man, that was daily.
Were you afraid for your life?
No. I took it on stride. That's why I laugh.
What about guys with shanks or something?
I laugh when people say I was getting fucked inside this and that. Man, I was no one fucking, man, bro, I could play ball. Like I'm really good, like now.
Do you think basketball was the thing that?
Well, my personality, I was used to fucking dealing in the inner city.
So it's just politics. You gotta
play
the game.
Man, that shit wasn't shit to me, man. It wasn't shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't shit to me. They could send me back today. I'd fucking be like, whatever. This shit, it wasn't shit to me. Damn. And don't take my word.
Yeah.
There's going to be over 100 guys that speak in my documentary that I was in with. And they're going to talk about what I was.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what I think of myself. I'm great. Ask others. They'll tell you what I was inside.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Oh, he was paying this one. Man, I wasn't paying for protection, nothing, man. I played ball. I did my thing. But what kept me, like, straight, first of all, I'm funny as shit. I had these dudes laughing, pissing their fucking pants daily. I was doing a lot of legal law work for a lot of guys, helping
Oh, really?
them. Yeah, a lot of guys, don't have the academic acumen per se to really conduct those affairs.
Yeah.
I was assisting a lot of guys because, you meet a lot of, the funny thing is I met a lot of my friends that I left behind. There was a group of about 20 of us, 25 of us. We grew up in a solid group, man. We all stayed. Man, I probably got 2 or 3 real friends left from that group. Everybody just left me to the curb, and that's okay. I met some real dudes inside.
It's hard.
I met some real dudes inside. You know what I mean? And I'm friends with those guys today, and I got them. When I'm done with all my stuff, they know who they are, and I got them, man. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's why, and the players would tell you the same thing. That's why I was listening to, I read some commentary from some former players, and these guys weren't shit as players, right? But they were always tagging along because they knew a guy and this and that. And, that's the type of shit that was rubbing me funny. I was hosting you at my party, even though you really sucked and really didn't belong there. Yeah. As far as if you're judging it on 5-star, 4-star, but more important, production. Yeah. When you're in the program, because there are plenty of 4 and 5 stars that don't pan out. It just happens. You played at that level. You can come in with 5-star this and that, but that don't mean a guy like DeMarcus Ware, who's coming in from Troy University, goes to the Hall of Fame because he's hungry. And he may have played at a small school. Maybe he couldn't get the grades. Not everyone tests well. There's a number of reasons why guys don't get found. And I'll give you a perfect example of one. Sam Shields. Sam Shields played at the U. Another one of my salvation projects. And I like Sam. But Randy Shannon hated him. He came in from Sarasota Riverview, I think, as a receiver, ran like a 4.2. Damn. 4.2, 4.3.
Yeah.
Definitely 4.2, 4.3. For sure 4.3. Sometimes you can be wind-aided. You can't always count on it to the T. And Randy Shannon banished him. Sideline. Didn't even dress. I spoke to one of the coaches I was very close with. I'm not going to say the name. You could look and see who it may have been. I said, yo, put him on special teams, bro. At least let him be a gunner.
Kind of like what you did with Devin a little bit.
Almost identical. Make him a gunner. The dude runs 4.2. He'll be the first guy down there. Put him at gunner.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Okay, so let me tell you how Sam Shields' career ended up. He leaves the University of Miami. He wins a Super Bowl with Green Bay.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
I'm watching from prison my Steelers. Sam Shields, he's the one that was on that pass down the sideline to Dez Bryant, where they changed the rule, where Dez Bryant had the touchdown, Green Bay and Dallas in the playoffs. Sam Shields ends up becoming one of the highest paid nickel safeties in the NFL, undrafted out of Miami. Yeah. So did he become that much great of a player after he left Miami, or is he getting coached?
What was the time you exercised the most control? Was it like kind of those personnel decisions where was there a lot of those, or did it go beyond that?
Well, here's another one I'll give you. So Jimmy Graham, I was close with the tight ends coach.
Is this when he was playing basketball or already basketball. On the – okay. So before he joined the football team.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
This is how it happened. So Jimmy Graham was a tight end. I was close with Coach Frank Haith.
The tight end coach?
No, the basketball coach.
Okay.
From Miami. And he used to be like, man, this kid should be playing football. He was
kind of like undersized?
No.
For basketball?
No, he was fouling out of every game. He was too physical. He was like 3 points, 4 rebounds. He was a bruiser.
Yeah.
He was really gifted athletically.
Oh, freak.
Gifted.
Yeah.
So I tell my boy, who's the tight ends coach, just so happens to be the same guy that I got Sam Shields rescued from. Same guy. Yeah. Tight end special team coach. And I said, listen, I think we got something here. Because Greg Olson had just gone pro. So he was expecting this coach. When he got to the school, he was like, who's my next Shockey? Who's my next Bubba Franks? Who's my next Kellen Winslow? There were none. I said, I think I found one, but you're going to have to let me know what you think. I had no idea how good he was, but I connected him, the coach, to Coach Haith.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham breaks out that year. I think Oklahoma gets a touchdown or two. They beat Oklahoma, who was top 5, top 10. Jimmy Graham's a tight end on the scene.
So Jimmy wouldn't have played
So
football.
all those Miami fans that told me to go fuck myself. There's no Jimmy Graham.
Right.
If I went and fucked myself. Yeah. Or Devin Hester. And I can go on and on and on. Yeah. There's a number of players. Similar stories. Yeah. All of them.
You see what Jimmy's doing now?
Jimmy
Graham.
No.
He's rowing the Antarctic. He's I just read this actually yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot.
Well,
it's some like world record.
I can say this. Better him than me.
Yeah.
Look, God bless him. Yeah, I knew the family that took him in and basically like adopted him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The girl committed suicide, and the husband, I haven't had any contact. I mean, I went away. I've been in touch with a number of the guys since I'm back. Certain guys got hard-ons because they're embarrassed because they know they turned on me.
Yeah.
And
why do you think they turned on you? Was it because they felt like they had to from like a legal standpoint? They felt pressured by the coaching staff?
No, coaching staff had nothing to do with this. The
just social pressure kind of thing?
I put myself in their shoes, and some of them were about to become millionaires for the first time.
Yeah.
They came from, whatever background financial they came from, and they were scared. And I understand that. I'm older now. I can look at things more pragmatically than how emotional I was feeling at that time. And I do regret the venom of which I was spewing. But you got to understand also where I was and in my position. I just been given 20 years for some shit that I knew I didn't do. I was forced to eat a guilty plea, and it's all going to come out. I don't listen. When people label you, they label you, and it doesn't matter if you prove to them with DNA or whatnot, you're guilty. Like, it don't even matter. I could show them, the prosecutors who put me away can say, we never should have locked him up. And people are going to be like, fuck him, he's a Ponzi schemer anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just different now. I know who matters to me, and public opinion's not. When my story's told, the documentary's told, the movies, whatever comes, the scripted series, the unscripted series, however it comes out, when it's all done, I only want it to be authentic and honest.
Yeah.
About who I was, how I made my money. I was a legitimate guy. I made some mistakes that I shouldn't have made. It could have stayed civil. It didn't have to go criminal. And I can prove all of this. I can, I'm gonna. I'm gonna. And
well, you said you were writing a book, right?
Well, I got 3 books.
You've written already, or you're planning on?
I'm in the middle of 4 actually separate books. I just started
writing 4 at the same time.
4 books. I started 14 years ago.
Damn.
So I'll let you know what one book is.
All right.
So I was very close to the Miami Heat situation as well. So the chief of police of Miami Beach was my best friend, Don DeLuca. You'll notice there were no University of Miami arrests from the year 2001 to 2010. That's not by accident. Let me just say that. So he's the one who made Shaq a cop in Miami Beach.
What do you mean Shaq became a cop?
Shaq
like an
became
honorary
a
cop?
He became an actual cop. He was named a police officer.
Wasn't he playing though?
Took the test, did the whole thing.
As a player? He was on the Heat.
He was playing for the Heat.
He was also a cop?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, I got a picture. You can look at my.
how do you play in the NBA and you're a cop?
He was an auxiliary cop.
What's that mean?
An auxiliary cop. He was just like, he'd go in off season. He was.
Was it just to mess around or?
No, he did it. That was his passion. He was a sheriff
Really?
in Orlando. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I'm writing a book.
So off season, obviously, because
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm writing a book that's titled Me, Shaq, and the Chief. Tales from South Beach.
Yeah, that sounds like a movie.
It is. And the fourth guy in our posse was the owner of the Versace mansion.
Oh, geez. Dude, that's crazy, dog.
He died while I was away. Peter Lofton.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's where I was holding court for all these University of Miami
So
players.
the book's just crazy stories of you guys?
It's going to be...
Is it like partying stories?
It's going to be...
Is it good or bad stuff?
It's just going to be a tell-all.
All right.
That's the name of the book.
Well, what's can you give like one of the stories in there, or
Me, Shaq, and the Chief.
what's like an example of something in there? Are you still boys with Shaq?
Shaq and I, we had a falling out, not due to me.
Didn't you buy him diamond handcuffs?
I did.
Why did
Because
he
we
need
consummated
handcuffs?
a deal, a real estate deal, and I spent $42,000 on those handcuffs,
On diamond handcuffs?
made in Los Angeles.
Because he was a cop, or
No, well, that was the signal of it. That was what it was supposed to signify.
that's a wild gift. Because like, what do you do with diamond handcuffs?
It
was just to do
What
it.
do you get a guy that's got everything?
I don't know.
You get him a pair of handcuffs that are made in diamonds. Anyway, so
Damn, that's a wild. Yeah.
so you want a story? Here, I'll give you a story.
Let's go.
So Dante Stallworth, you remember? He got charged
The receiver.
He got charged with vehicular manslaughter, hitting a guy running across the causeway, the MacArthur Causeway. 2009, maybe. I think he paid the family $1.2 million, and he did 30 days jail. Well, he was in my house 30 minutes after he killed the guy. That gives you an idea of what my dial-up was.
So
Miami
so he
Beach.
kills someone and just goes
Well,
straight
he
to your
didn't
house?
kill him intentionally.
No.
He
I
hit a
know.
guy
Yeah.
who was running across the causeway, and I don't know the details of alcohol and this and that. I just know he was in my house 30 minutes later with the guy that brought him there. You got to help this guy. That gives you an idea of what my position was within the city of Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Okay. My girl wasn't happy. How come you got to get up? Meanwhile, true story. He was in my house 30 minutes after he hit that guy.
Dang.
Yeah.
What'd you do? You just called the chief of police?
You know,
Made it.
I made some calls. He
Pull some
wasn't getting,
strings.
he wasn't walking away from it because there's a body. Oh, that's one story. I mean, I got 1,000 of them. I'll give you a Shaq story. So I'm at Joe Stonecrab's.
All right. Great place. Fantastic restaurant.
Grew up there.
It's a good place to grow up.
Yeah, I grew up there. And I was having lunch with Shaq, was sitting right to my left. The chief of police,
It's like
And-
I'll keep going.
sitting 2 down from me, and one of our attorney friends. And Shaq got a call. This is after the Heat won the title in 06. So now we're in the 07 season. Shaq got a call from his agent. And I'm sitting right there. And he's beefing with Pat Riley, Shaq. No one's really aware of it behind the scenes. Or no one really knew what was going on. But I was behind. I knew there was problems. Shaq just got his $100 million deal. They were paying him. At the time, it was a massive deal, 5 years, $100 million, which now is like nothing. But that was 2007. And Shaq wanted out of Miami. His agent calls His name is Perry. Perry only had 2 athletes. He represented Shaq and he represented Andre Agassi. And Shaq said, fuck it, just get me out of here. I go, where you going? He goes, yeah, I'm going to Phoenix. So I knew Shaq was going to Phoenix before Pat Riley. So I'm friends with Barry Jackson. We went to high school. And I was always Barry's source. Sorry if I'm embarrassing him, but I was his inside source. So I text Barry, Shaq going to Phoenix. No way, no way. I said, listen, man, I'm sitting there having lunch with him. He's going to Phoenix. Pat Riley didn't even know yet.
Dang. Was Shaq cool with all that? Or it was just...
I don't know. He was going to Phoenix, whether I said anything or not.
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of stories, man. You know, I'm going to air it out because, you know, everybody likes to shoot at the bad guy, but maybe the bad guy's really not the bad guy.
Who's the bad guy?
Well, everyone thinks I'm the bad guy.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's going to be for people's perceptions. People can believe it or not believe whatever I write. And that's about everything.
Yeah.
That covers all the books.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But trust me.
Is that something you want to do? Amend your relationship with either, you know, the school as an entity or like the fan base, or you're not interested in that at all? Like, is that, you know, what's gone is gone? Because you have such a passion for the team. And it seems like, based off what you said, you regret some of the things you did and what happened afterwards. But, you know, I guess there's a time heals all wounds kind of thing. But,
you know, that's a great question you ask. And it's not an easy question to answer. I've gotten older. I see things very differently in life in general. What's important, what's not important. Money used to be really important to me. It's not as important to me today as it once was. You know, like I read one guy makes a comment, oh, he's broke as fuck. The feds don't know where my money is, but this fucking idiot on Instagram knows where my money is.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You can't read that stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't really give a shit what the fan base thinks. In all honesty, I should be idolized to them for what I did for the program, for what I did. But I understand the animosity for what took place.
Well, there's a recency bias, so I think they see what happened afterward.
Right. And I understand that. I don't really need to heal anything with anybody.
What were we talking about? I forgot what we were talking about.
You were asking me if I would like to make things right with the university and the fan base. What was my position on that? So I'm not really concerned about the fan base. They don't move me or have anything to do with my life, or, you know, I don't need to impress anyone. The people that are in my corner and in my circle, they're the same people that have always been there. As far as the program, there's nothing to make right. They'll never make right with it. It's a relationship that's run its course. I'm always going to be a diehard U fan. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
I'm always going to be a diehard U fan. And, you know, it's an arms race now. It's just a different college football, college sport. It's just a different.
Well, do you think it's changed though? Because it's always been to some extent.
Yeah.
But do you think maybe just the scale's bigger?
You know, personally, and this sounds funny coming from a guy like me who was violating the NCAA bylaws.
Right.
You know what I mean? But voraciously.
But some would say.
Yeah. But like,
voracious.
This may sound
That's a great way to put it.
This may sound a little bit hypocritical, but I liked it when it was a pure sport. When it was a pure sport.
The way that comes out is wild.
I liked it when it was a pure sport, man. And coming from me,
You gotta explain that, Doc.
That's like the devil telling you you're sinning. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know it sounds funny, but you got to let me explain my reason.
Please do.
See, if you didn't laugh, I wouldn't have broken up laughing. You know, there was always cheating going on or misappropriation. It was going on. I don't care what anyone says. I know it firsthand.
Yeah.
Let's get outside my situation. I knew many college players, and I knew what was going on going back many years when I was in college.
Yeah.
So, and keep in mind, I was locked up with Rumeal Robinson. You may be a little bit young to know. Rumeal Robinson won the national title for the University of Michigan. He hit 2 free throws with 1 second left on the clock to beat Seton Hall in 1989. So I was locked up with him in Oakdale, Louisiana. And, you know, and I got a lot of stories from him. And they had, of course, a very notorious booster, Ed Martin.
From Michigan basketball?
Yeah. Glenn Rice played on that team.
It's like Dream Team and all that kind of thing?
That team came later.
Yeah,
Chris
I mean,
Webber and
that's
those
well
guys.
documented. Like,
Yeah. So
everyone's
like,
been getting paid.
So from my vantage point, I don't like what it has become. I don't like what it's become because it's eliminated. It's like big business. It's big company. You know, it's like big.
And is that different than what it was before?
It's like Google and Amazon and all these big companies that just acquire everything. You're not going to be able to get one of these teams like an Iowa State or a Kansas State to break out of the pack and just win a national title. It's not going to happen.
I disagree. I think you can. If a Nevin Shapiro character
Yeah,
is an
I mean,
alumni of the University of Kansas.
I'd have to say yes.
Look what Phil Knight did with Oregon. What would Oregon be without Phil?
True. Good example.
All it takes is one person.
I think what really bothers me is that these kids got to get paid. I've always been their biggest advocate. But the issue is there's just no loyalty at all.
Yeah, it's all year
to a program.
1 year contracts now.
Like you just knew, man, you know, like these coaches, I can't even imagine. Like Nick Saban, all right, I'm not going to say he's the greatest coach ever, but he's in the argument.
He's
right?
for sure the greatest coach ever.
He's there. I mean, he's there. I'd say I
don't see the argument against it, but
No.
that's a different point.
Yeah, I mean,
what was the bigger?
I'll even say, okay, let's just say he's the greatest coach of all time. Okay, let's just say, for argument's sake, he's the greatest coach of all time. He walked away from the game because he sees what it is.
With NIL, yeah. It's a different game.
It's, you know, and I don't want to say it's a young man's game, but like, think about how hard it is. And you went through it yourself as a college player, the recruiting process. So, like, you know what kind of work you got to put in to get a kid? And then you got to re-recruit them?
Every single year.
Oh, it's crazy.
Every single year.
You know, there's always going to be,
at least in the league,
and there's going to be a guy
3-4
like
year
me
contract
or someone
trying to pull guys out. Yeah.
It's inevitable. And like, it's who could keep up with that, man? I would never want to be, and the coaches are making crazy money. Like, the game's missing. I just think it lost the purity. What made those Miami teams so great, is like it was a brotherhood fraternity, and one loss would motivate the next year.
Yeah.
And it's all business now. It's just all business. And it was a certain dynamic, you know. I don't like the way.
I think the TV contracts just got so crazy that it became.
And that's why the kids.
As big as it is now.
And that's why the conversation between the NCAA and myself was what it was. They tried to hide from the responsibility.
Yeah.
They put their head in the sand like it was just going to go away. And so I've seen a lot of arguments. Well, Shapiro was responsible for NIL and this and that. And then other guys, no, he had nothing to do with it. And I could tell you this. the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit paved the way
For sure.
from a legality standpoint.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, my situation was significant because they were blown away with what I really had going on. They were blown away. If I didn't get locked up, I could have been running circles around the NCAA for the next 20 years. They'd be just running into each other.
You don't think they would have
They would have never
had evidence?
They would have never gotten me.
Really?
Yeah.
What about like all the videos and photos and that kind of stuff?
Well, now with social media and the way things changed, there wasn't that in that point. Because if there was social media back in the day when I was running nuts, you know,
Right, but that's the reality of what it is
when
now.
Kellen Winslow went crashing into a guy's boat when he was going into his junior year, which was he was about to become a multimillionaire.
Oh, he crashed his boat?
Well, he was on my jet skis. He crashed into a guy's boat.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a million stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that would have been, you know, TMZ right away.
100%.
Yeah, so we're in a different world now. You know what I
You
mean?
had the police chief, though, so you could just call him up.
Didn't matter. I had to give this guy $2,500 or whatever cash I had in my pocket and say, yo, here.
The boat guy?
The guy whose boat he hit. Luckily, the guy didn't speak
I'm
a word of
surprised he was
English
okay
and he
with
was
it.
drunk.
Yeah.
I said, yo, here's the cash. Yo, yeah. We were gone.
Dang.
Yeah, man. The stories are endless. You know, and it's just I just don't like the way college sports is. I watch college football because I'm a diehard, but I don't turn on NBA. I don't watch hardly NFL. Yeah. And I know everything going on because I just, you know, I follow my apps and I see what's happening. But I just, it's become, professional sports has become WWE. It's just entertainment.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's fighting Mike Tyson. I mean, this is just dumb. We're just in a dumb world. It's just stupid.
I mean, it's all about money.
You know what I
But
mean?
that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
I guess.
You know, so I don't like the unpurity of college football.
You realize how many comments you're gonna get about that? That was a funny comment right there.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you know, and I said it to
irony.
someone.
Yeah.
I said it to someone like 2 weeks ago, and man, they just started dying laughing in my face. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. And they're like,
yeah,
man, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about, bro? You're the biggest sinner of all time. And I'm like, and the guy I'm talking to, you know, we know each other well, so he could talk to me this way. He's like, bro, you're fucking Lucifer. Like, what are you talking about?
Yo, that's wild. I mean, yeah, the bounty stuff's probably one of the craziest parts of it too.
The bounty part, you know, I got into some trouble with one in particular individual. He didn't like me comparing my bounties to his bounties, so I won't mention his name.
With another guy that was doing bounties?
Yeah, back when. So you can just do the math. I don't know. I'm not.
All right.
Anyway, so my bounties, man, my bounties paid. If there was one guy, one player, and I feel bad about it now, you know, but if there was one player who took probably the worst beatings of all time because of my bounties, it's Chris Ricks, the quarterback from Florida State, because he played 4 years, and we got him for a fifth game because we played them in the Orange Bowl. They kicked this kid's ass, man. That kid must have cost me $50,000, man.
Yeah. So it was like what, sacks,
man. If you look at the highlights,
so dudes are just going after his head.
yeah.
Damn, dog.
And this is before the forget about it. Like, no,
Was this common back then?
I couldn't have done this in today's era.
Why?
Well, because targeting.
Targeting.
Sean Taylor, God rest his soul, man. Sean Taylor wouldn't have finished one college game.
No.
Dude was an assassin.
Yeah.
Like in a good way.
Right.
If you're a football fan, you know what I mean. So, man, the game's just changed, man. I don't. And all the rules, I'm not down with it, man. I'm just not down with it. Like when Michael Barrow, for all these fans that may watch this thing, when Michael Barrow hit to Mark Vanover in 1992, yo, I don't think I've ever heard, man, that Orange Bowl was just, it's the best hit in the history of the University of Miami, ever. He fucked this motherfucker up, man. And it was at a crucial point in the game. Man, I like the whole play. It sounded like an 8-point Richter earthquake in that stadium.
Wow.
He rocked this cat. Like,
Was it like a high ball over the middle or something?
delay bubble screen
Oh, no.
under the strap.
Oh.
Bro. And listen, he returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, Vanover, to
Straight
start the game.
headshot, huh?
97. Bro, and then Barrow was just because they had the cutoff jerseys
Oh, he
at
just,
the time.
like, stood over him?
Saluting. Oh, man.
Because he knew he was about to get paid by you. Or was this before?
No. He wasn't getting paid by me, not in this era. This was early 90s. Man, what a hit. What a hit.
Yeah.
Best hit ever. Best University of Miami hit ever.
Damn, I don't know. As a player, it's like, I can't get behind that. It's just crazy. See, I've had so many injuries, man. It's like,
Yeah, I know. I got it.
Yeah.
And there's a side to me.
I get the whole thing as a fan, but
Yeah, no, I know. And it wasn't really to
injure.
I look back, man, there's certain guys, man, that I really like, honestly, and this is controversial what I'm about to say, but looking back, there's a few guys I wish I could have gotten a chance to put the bounty on. There's certain players that I would have set the bounty so high, like they would have assassinated these dudes. I set a bounty on Tim Tebow. And I think God made me pay for it by sending me to prison.
Whoa. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I thought about this, like when I was locked up. I'm
Really?
like, I wonder if that bounty I set on Tim Tebow, man, really
That you
cost
think
me
that
my
was the
freedom.
one?
Sure. I didn't pay it out because we didn't collect. They didn't collect, but I set a bounty on him. First game of the season.
Wow. Dude, that's crazy. Well, so was it just your
I don't know,
standard?
but I'll never go his route, his way again, man. That was it, man. I went away
no.
for 10 years. I think it's because of that.
Did you put anything extra on him, or was it
And
just
Aaron
your
Hernandez
typical?
was in that game too. But
Yeah. Well,
No.
Tim was special, man.
yeah, he was. So I'm glad I didn't put a bounty on Hernandez. It might have came back for me in real life.
He might have.
man.
Honestly, if you heard about it, he might have.
Yeah.
Not even kidding.
Yeah, I know.
But the Tim one, that's funny.
Yeah.
He was, what was
true
that,
story.
08?
They beat us 26-3. 23-3, 26-3, 08, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. That was the one that Ja'Cory, I think he got his first start that game, or one of his first times.
Marv was the starting quarterback.
But they put him in. Ja'Cory did play that game because he told me about it.
Ja'Cory came in that next.
No, he told me about playing.
Maybe he did.
Yeah.
Maybe he did.
I was like Brandon Spikes, Reggie Nelson. That was that defense.
Maybe he did. Yeah. Yep, he did.
Yeah.
Right, that was right. Marv came 07, right? Yeah, that's right. Randy Shannon didn't let him throw the ball. He let him conserve.
Tim took so much. He ran the ball so much, but he never got hurt really. I think only one time, barely. He was just such a big guy.
Really, you know what? Honestly, he's just he's just a great human.
He's a good human being.
You know what I mean?
That's
I
damn,
felt so
bro. No.
bad, man.
Yeah, you should. You put a bounty on such a great dude.
I put a bounty on Tim Tebow, man. I swear.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, I think I went away for that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Karma.
Only he knows, but like, that's it. But that's truth. That happened. And, I've seen the game change so much. There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty.
No.
Yeah,
well, everything's just 1-year contracts.
It's hard to,
But think about it from a player's perspective, right? How do you maximize your earnings in a 4 to 5 year stretch? Because you're not going to get paid the same if you stay status quo. And so if you enter free agency every year, then you can continue to.
Yeah,
right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's what they're doing.
There's a number of arguments to be made. There's no real set template. I look at this kid for what I think is stupid. Like I look at this kid from Miami. He's the tight end McCormick. So he's going. He should stay one more year. Miami will owe him a pension.
Really?
Yeah, if he plays 10 years, he'll get a pension.
Oh, it's a joke. Yeah.
9 years in college.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Well,
How do you get on that plan?
he's had a bunch of injuries.
9 years?
Yeah. But look at it. Like, you're playing ball. You're getting a bunch of degrees. You're getting free, like, what, 3-4 master's degrees for free?
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, it's a lot.
What's your career? College athlete.
Yeah.
You
He's
know
getting paid. He's getting paid probably more than he would as a practice squad player in the NFL. Right?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
and there's
guessing.
so many ways to capitalize now.
Yeah.
With the way it is, it's like it's out of control. I don't even know why the NCAA would go after anybody for anything. They're just, that whole situation needs to be broken down and restructured, period. The NCAA has got to be removed. They need a governing body.
Just go full pro model.
And run it like a business. I said it on my Instagram feed, like it should be unionized. And people laughed. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
They will at some point.
I can't refer who.
It's inevitable.
It's just because the NCAA, like they just reached this settlement, 2-point-something billion for 10 years. They don't have these kids' best interest. They want to keep everything. Okay. It's a one-sided negotiation. They don't even want to. If they didn't have to pay these kids at all, they wouldn't. They'd stay this way.
Oh, for sure.
100%. They would just stay this way. I was telling them this.
Well, they're not paying kids, though. There's no revenue share. It's all
I was telling
outside.
them this 13 years ago. My fight really became with the NCAA. It wasn't like me in Miami. It was really me and the NCAA. Like, what are you guys doing? How do you not pay them? Do you think there's not another guy like me running around out there? Yeah. I'm just doing it better than others because I'm in the right city.
Right.
Women don't look the same in other places like they do in Miami. That's another thing.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Well, Miami and LA. Those are the two big market SC and University of Miami.
And when I'm glad Mario came back, that really wasn't going to go that way. I had put a comment out, I was being told from within, and my sources are within the former players, that Lane Kiffin was the guy they really wanted.
Really?
Yeah. And I was told that the plan was Lane Kiffin, and if you Google me, you'll see it like there's a feed on it. I was being told that's my buddy who, yeah, don't worry. We're just in the middle of a podcast. We're just in the middle of a podcast.
So you're being told about Lane.
We were being told that I was being fed information that Lane Kiffin was the choice. He wanted the Miami job.
He was going to leave Ole Miss and take the Miami job.
He didn't take the Ole Miss job yet.
Oh, this is when he was leaving FAU.
Yeah, I think I don't know if he had left FAU or not. I can't remember off the top of my head. He wanted that Miami job. And man, what he would have done for us would have been, they'd be dropping 40, 50 spots every game. And I was being told,
where do you think Miami would be right now?
Well, let me just finish. I was also told that Randy Shannon was going to become the defensive coordinator. And that's the information I was given from very reliable sources. Then the posse that is now controlling Miami's funds went and pursued Mario. And, I think it's a great move. But that was the plan. And I was being told that. And I shared that with Dan Wetzel in a personal conversation. He asked me if he could use it on his podcast. And I said, yeah, that's what I'm being told. And he did. And, boy, they'd be loaded. They'd be loaded, man. Because Randy would be running the D.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin would be, forget about it, man. If you're an offensive kid, I can't even think about where else you'd want to go. But play for him?
Yeah.
Here? But, you know, Mario's got a...
I said they have a really good roster right now, too, though.
Yeah, he does. And, you know, there's something I'd actually like to volunteer to mention to your fan base.
Yeah.
You know, I read a lot of the comments. Not about me so much as just University of Miami banter. Mm. And I see guys defending Manny Diaz. Let me be 10,000% clear on this. Manny Diaz, forget what his record was after 2 seasons, as opposed to what Mario's record is. Manny Diaz isn't even in the same stratosphere as Mario Cristobal. Let's just start there. He's not even in the same. He never played. He didn't play for that program. And he got the job because of his dad. It's known within. Okay? His dad pulled strings. He used to be the mayor of Miami. He got him the job. Someone did him a favor. And Mario is on the clock now. He had some horrible losses, and I can't get down with some of the losses he took. Middle Tennessee State getting routed at home. I don't care what kind of overhaul you got to do. You're not getting drubbed by Middle Tennessee State at home, period. But he's cleaned out a lot of that. There's no excuses now. He's got the talent. They've given him all the resources in the world. Yeah. I want to come back to something back when I started telling you. You had asked me about Randy Shannon. What I didn't get a chance to finish was Donna Shalala, they were upside down on 2 contracts. They still had to pay Larry Coker money because they had just re-upped him, and they still had to pay Perry Clark money, the basketball coach at that time. So they were upside down money. Randy Shannon got the job for $850,000 a year. Now think about that. $850,000 a year to be the head coach at the University of Miami.
Actually, just bring the mic a little closer to you. Yeah. There you go.
Better?
Yeah. Can you spin it? Yeah. That's good. Yeah, perfect.
All right?
Yeah.
I went to Donna Shalala, and I'm sorry to come back to this, but I never had a chance to finish. I forgot to finish answering it.
Well, okay, so this is in reference to when I asked you about strong-arming the University of Miami after the Larry Coker fire in terms of getting the candidate you wanted. Because you were talking about like the control you exercised over the program in terms of
that's correct.
Funding a lot of the activities.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So when I sat down with Paul D.,
the AD,
the AD, and Donna Shalala, I said, name me the coach. Pay me $1 to make me an employee. And I'll come out of pocket and get the offense coordinator and defense coordinator, who at the time would have been Gus Malzahn, who was at Tulsa, and Will Muschamp, who at that time I think was Alabama's D coordinator. Okay? I was going to pay out of my own pocket. Miami fans were, oh, yeah, trust me, that was the plan. That was my plan. Yahoo Sports knew this when they were doing the thing with me. Right? Like they were laughing, but they know it was true. But I was setting it up for Mario Cristobal because I always knew Mario was really built for that position. I was in dialogue when he took the job to go to FIU through Pete Garcia. So people don't know what really my background was. There was beef between Randy Shannon didn't want Mario Cristobal around because he was a threat. $40,000 extra a year kept Mario Cristobal from returning as a coach for the University of Miami. $40,000. That's a fact. That's a fact. He then went to FIU, took the job. 4 years, $2 million, I think. People don't know that.
So FIU paid their head coach more than University of Miami at the time?
FIU paid $2 million 4 years.
Wow.
$500,000. I think it's you'd have to look it up.
You've never coached though. So
yeah, no, I didn't need to.
Did you think they were going to give you the head coaching job?
Well, look what Larry Coker did for that 2001 team.
Well, he was a long-time assistant. He's been,
I'm a long-time recruiter.
But you've never coached football before.
I didn't need to. These guys, I would have had
To
the
be a
right
head coach at
I would have
University
had
of
the
Miami.
right staff. I would have given the right speeches. I would have had the right staff, and I'd have a guy running the thing. But meanwhile, I would deal with the players. Like I would just be deal. I would deal with the players.
I mean, yeah, but Deion's
is it
Hall of Fame
is it
football player.
realistic? No,
I would
not.
say so.
But I think I could have done it, and I really think I could have done it because I would have had the great. It would have been 2 years just to get the program on track.
And then you would have given it to Mario.
Because I wasn't gonna. That wasn't my life.
Right.
I just saw what the problem
You
was.
just would have managed from the top. Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson was an amazing coach, but guess what? He had the best staff around. I'm not putting myself in Jimmy Johnson's category, of course, but
Right.
like,
I mean, I think maybe like somewhere on the staff, like not recruiting coordinator, but
I already was their recruiting coordinator.
yeah, kind of.
It sounds funny. I know it just sounds funny, but it's just what it was. Like, there's guys that inevitably are going to talk on my thing.
Yeah.
They're gonna tell the public what it really was. We got Arthur Brown. He was the #1 player in America, 2008, out of Kansas. Okay. We got his brother, #1 player in America, 2009, Bryce Brown. How do you think that happened?
You.
I was part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
But there's still the football side of it too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not walking around campus and showing classes.
Right.
That wasn't my.
I mean, yeah, you guys are. Yeah,
wasn't
you're showing
my-
them a good time.
Yeah, that wasn't my role. Well, you know, that wasn't my role.
Yeah.
This is what it could be. That was really my recruit. Yeah, this is what it could be.
Yeah.
We knew guys that were passed out, like after going to the clubs, and we're like, these guys will never. You could tell who was going to make it and who wasn't. You know, and you know, there's a million stories I could tell, but that's what happened with regards to the Randy Shannon situation, and but getting back to the Manny Diaz is not even in the same stratosphere as Mario Cristobal. He's just not. Mario's a hell of a recruiter, and Manny Diaz was more of a cheerleader.
He's a great defensive coordinator. Like what he did at Penn State last year was really impressive, and those Miami defenses were really good too. Under Rick.
He got better. He got better from his earlier years.
What's interesting is that he's young too, so like
Yeah,
he's going to
yeah.
evolve
There's
as
a learning
a
curve, yeah.
coach. But
Yep.
what makes someone a good coordinator doesn't necessarily make them a good head coach, which is
Randy Shannon's a perfect example.
right. Two completely different skill sets.
Mark Stoops was our secondary coach in that 2001 team.
That's crazy. Yeah.
You see what we had.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So, you know, like we lost a lot of the old guard, like the older coaches, like Coker cut loose. That's where the program went down.
When he fired the whole staff, right? Was it after 03 or something?
Man. Yeah, there was
He felt like he had to fire
like,
him.
you know, Art Kehoe and Don Soldinger, and that was a sour time, man. And they were taking the blame for his.
Well, someone has to. Yeah.
They took the blame for his failures. He won a national title, but you know, I hate saying anything negative about him because he's really a super nice man and a gentleman.
Yeah.
But like, if you got to keep it, if you have to be from the media and really just be unbiased,
Right.
you know, anybody could have. You could have. The bar back here could have coached that team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all about the talent evaluation. That's why Butch Davis was such an incredible coach. Nobody could evaluate talent like that guy. Hence
Well, he had to, right?
the 2000, 2001, 2002 teams.
Mm-hmm.
That was all Butch's.
All his guys. What's the thing with less scholarships? He knew he had to. He couldn't
Santana
miss.
Moss.
He couldn't miss on dudes.
Track scholarship.
Yeah.
Brian McKinney, band scholarship.
Haha, that's clever. That's very clever.
Played the sax in 7th grade. Band scholarship.
Was he actually in the band too? No. He just showed up one day to band.
Listen, I play the sax better than him. I've never played the sax in my life. Talking about. You know what I mean? Like that's really that's what it was. So people
No,
don't.
it's clever. It's clever.
People don't understand like what he had to do, man. He built that was a dynasty, man. He knows it too. He regrets going to Cleveland. Man,
He would have had a national championship.
Man, he'd be sitting on 7, 8, 9, 10 national championships. It's everyone who knows.
Yeah.
Look at who our backfield was. Can I give it to you?
Give it to me.
Starting, Clinton Portis. Blocking for him, McGahee. Frank Gore coming off the bench. Najee Davenport. Jason Geathers, who was incredible. Couldn't even see the field. And he was incredible. Jared Payton. That's one team.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's nuts.
You know why Portis had to go pro?
Why?
He wasn't guaranteed to start the next year.
Oh, because Frank was coming up.
Bro, that's how it was there.
Yeah.
See, Mario knows this. That's why he's creating all this competition. He's got like 20 offensive linemen now. Mm-hmm. He knows what it is.
2 great running backs, too.
Listen, it goes hand in hand. People got it. People look at all these pass heavy teams, the LSUs, and the way, from the Joe Burrow on and like how it just became an air raid world. Yeah. Miami's always been set up by the run. Always. That's what's always kept, always. So now they're going to this other.
He's a trenches guy, so he understands.
Yeah. And that people forget, man, that's where we cut our teeth, man. That's where we made our bones.
Yeah.
Miami's defense.
That's the identity of a football team is the offensive line.
Miami's D-line and O-line Miami's O-line was always just solid, not phenomenal, not big, not like solid, but the D-line, dominant always, man. Yeah. Dudes that could really ride. Jimmy Johnson's the guy that really turned linebackers into defensive ends. So you had those speed guys coming off the end.
Yeah.
That's how it all began with Miami, man. That's it. They changed the game. They changed college football. That's a fact. And I'll go toe-to-toe with anybody who wants to have that conversation. We changed it, man. It was a speed game, man. Yeah. They changed that game.
Damn. Yeah, when I was watching that doc, man, I was like, because I was so young. I never actually watched them play. I was like, dude, these teams are dominant. Bro, it was actually ridiculous.
Listen to what I'm telling you, man. And Alonzo Highsmith, who had a lot of bad shit to say about me, and that's okay. He had the right reason to say it. I got it.
What did he say?
Well, he just called me whatever. Just, bad stuff. It's all right. It is what it is. I don't blame him. It is what it is. But I watched Alonzo in high school play football. Yeah. His team beat my team. He played for Columbus.
Okay.
My team is Miami Beach High.
Yeah.
They beat us in a playoff game, 1982.
I just saw him the other day. He works for the team.
Yeah, he went to the NFL, right? He went to
Alonzo Highsmith?
Yeah, he just went to an NFL team.
No, he didn't.
Personnel, yeah, he took over personnel.
He just did?
Yeah, weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Months ago.
Oh.
Yeah, he
look it up.
Yeah, he took over the personnel.
Alonzo Highsmith. It still says general manager of the University of Miami, but maybe it's not updated.
Yeah, no, he's Seattle, maybe. New Orleans.
Oh, Patriots.
Patriots, yeah.
Oh, yeah, personnel executive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so like the guys on that team, that Highsmith team, that 86 team, those are men, bro. And if you ask those guys, and I've had this conversation with those guys, they feel they would smash that 2001 team. And I don't.
Well, yeah, each team's gonna think that,
bro. They were, because the rules were, they were fucking violent.
I mean, both were though.
They were violent.
You think it was a big difference?
Man, different level.
Yeah.
Different level.
Yeah.
That 86 team was something fucking ferocious. They could have won back to back to back. 85, 86, 87.
Right.
And 88.
2 3-peats.
I got their history down, man.
Yeah.
I can tell you who fucked us, on what call and what play went bad, and
Yeah.
And I'm a diehard, man. I'm a diehard. So, I got a lot of stories I'm going to inevitably tell. And People can feel what they want to feel and this and that, but I deserve my flowers. Like, if I know my hands are on 5, 6, 7 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Hands on. Potentially.
Why potentially?
Well, because they're not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they still
yeah,
got to get
yeah.
voted in.
Oh, Ed's already in.
Ed is, yeah, but I wasn't like, I really wasn't. He was already there when I settled in.
You didn't bring him in, yeah.
But like Frank Gore, close to that situation. Hester, for sure. Will Fork, for sure.
Yeah.
Calais Campbell, possibly. Greg Olson, possibly. Antrell Roll. He probably won't get in, but he's definitely should be on the ballot. Sean Taylor should get in posthumously.
Yeah.
What he would have done if he played his whole career would have been insane.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not even, I mean, everyone knows that. And Andre Johnson.
Yeah, Andre.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a who's who.
No.
It's sick what Miami's
Do you think
put
they'll
out.
ever get back to the height of the U? Do you think
They
they'll
can't.
ever come back?
No.
Within
Do I
the
think?
next-
Do I think they'll come back? Yes. I think they'll win. I think with the yes, they'll never get back to that level. It was a different time.
So what will they get back to?
They can win national titles.
That means they're back.
That means they're back as far as being relevant.
That's more than relevant. You're saying
They're
in terms
in-
of
they're in-
being as
they're-
dominant, hey, this team can go for 3 straight national championships. I mean, I get what you're saying. That's a different level. But if you're winning national championships,
I'll answer that question. You're right. Could they? Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
They could, based on the way
The NIL is structured right now.
the NIL is structured, based on the 12-team playoff.
That
now
helps
you
a
don't
lot.
have to win every game.
And you're in the ACC, so it's a
You
lot
could
easier to get
slide
into.
in.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they'll make it this
see,
year.
when Miami was back when, they couldn't slide in a loss and you were done.
Yeah, well, that was the BCS model. That was just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so to answer your question, they could get back, but they'll never get back to that level of what Miami was. That's a mystique level.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. That's a moment in time. That's gone. I think all the Miami fans are just, people in Miami like to talk shit. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it is. You want to be like, yo, fuck off. We're that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, we're like New Yorkers, but we've won something. They just haven't, other than the Yankees. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, people just want to talk shit, and it's an ego boost and whatnot. So
That's why it's like you don't, like what you said earlier with you not really faulting what the fans say about you, like
100%.
like with the T-shirts and
Yeah.
like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you understand it.
Yeah, I get it. They're just if they really knew what my role was within, they'd wish I was back.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they wouldn't get in trouble. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a caveat. Yeah, you know what I mean?
if you could take only the benefits. for sure.
Yeah. I mean, look, it happened. It's history. They've recovered. I've recovered. I have my own. I'm in a different state of life now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, it sounds like you have a totally different perspective now
I do.
on life.
Yeah,
you know?
I do. And I'm gonna tell my story. It's authentic, it's incredible, and if you like entertainment,
You've gone through a journey, man. Like
been
this is
incredible.
like the character development of the
Incredible.
highs and lows and
yeah.
Go-
I'll
going
tell you.
through-
I'll tell you exactly who. It's too early to see this because you haven't seen how I finish my story.
yeah.
But the Count of Monte Cristo. Watch the movie. I should have never went to prison. Period. And how it ends, you have to watch the movie. It's a classic. You should watch it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had my highs and lows, and I'm better for it, man. Honestly, I don't have any bitterness that I lost 10 years of my life. I know who put me there. I know how it's gonna. I'm gonna exact all my revenges. I'm going to avenge.
I mean, I guess that is in a sense some bitterness, though. If you're seeking revenge.
Well, listen, if somebody went out of their way to incarcerate you and ruin your life,
no, I would do. I would be.
You know what I mean?
I would be very pissed off. I'm just saying.
You know, like I've had to sit back and just digest.
Oh yeah.
What was done with me because I don't have a choice right now because I'm in custody.
I got you.
But we're gonna. I'm gonna. I'll.
Yeah.
I'm spiritual in this regard.
Yeah.
I've gotten deep into my faith. I'm Jewish. I've gotten deep into my faith, and
you're at peace with it, kind of.
Yeah, I really am. I'm not an angel, so I can't sit here without contrition.
Yeah.
And say that I didn't deserve to get slapped on the wrist but not what happened to me. That was just way over the top, and even my lenders, I fought hard for my lenders. I felt terrible what happened to them because I was responsible for their money, but I'm not the one who stole it. And that's I'm gonna show it. It's like, don't take my word on a podcast. I'm gonna show it.
Yeah,
and the feds know it too. But I was a sexy target because of I was in Miami. I hung out with whatever celebrities. I had money and this and that. And the feds are always like, oh, he lived a lavish lifestyle. Yeah, it was rich. How the fuck should I live? Should I live Section 8? I mean,
30-year-old with $300 million in Miami.
I mean, I was rich. Where should I live?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they use that shit for everything else. But, that's another story. I give lectures to universities.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, I've given about 11, 12 lectures to universities, Fairfield, Fordham, Barry University Law School. I've done Fordham a number of times.
And this is all prison reform
and a lot
conversation.
Well, no, actually, no. It's business and ethics compliance.
Ethics.
Well, who's violated it worse than me?
There you go.
I could tell you what the pitfalls are.
Yeah.
This and that. I'm like, I have contrition.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to, like, if I can help society, I would be sponging as much information from me as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I've touched $1 billion. Like, how many people could say that? Actually, a lot more. But like, how many people could say that? Not a lot. How many billionaires have you ever met? I don't know. Just think about it in your own life. You know what I mean? So, like, I got valuable experience that I can share with students. They sit there in amazement. And I'm not the animal that I've been depicted. I read about the guy they're talking about. I read stuff on me. Man, I Google me. I'm like, fuck, I hate this guy. Who the fuck? I hate this guy. I'm like, oh, shit, that's me. I don't even know who they're talking about. And, man, like, the Fed just made it. They had to shit on me and get everyone away from me. And they did. They did. Trust me. When you see the United States versus you, it's you versus the country.
Yeah.
So I'm humble in a lot of ways. I'm not humble in other ways. If dudes get arrogant, if dudes want to point this and that,
right.
You'll
snap back. Yeah.
Snap back, bro. I'll swing my dick. Like, you're gonna understand the difference of levels.
Right.
And I'll let you know. Like, I ain't dramas. It's all commas. Like,
that's a bar right there.
I signed the front of the check, not the back. Like, you know what I mean? I got 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And, I'm that's it, man. I'm just looking to do good in life, and I want to be able to, like, share my knowledge and experience for, like, what could really happen, man. Yeah, it was loaded. But, like, you take one left turn and you should have turned right.
Yeah.
Do things the right way, man. That's the truth. I've learned.
Well, that's a good perspective, man. I hope how people are open-minded about, the entire story, and maybe, what mainstream media pushes isn't always so accurate, right? And I don't know all the details either, but I believe you when you say that you're trying to do good, So I think.
Yeah, no, I'm listen.
And it's the only thing you can do, right? Is try to
listen. There's no better teacher in life than experience.
Yeah.
You understand? And so, I've made $1 million, I've lost $1 million. I've made $1 million. It's cyclical, man. You just want to learn from your mistakes, because if you don't,
right.
What was the purpose of even making the mistake? You know what I'm saying? There's got to be a lesson to be taken. I deserve to be punished to some degree for my situation, but I didn't need to go to prison. I just didn't. And I have the facts that are going to back it up. I have every receipt. I know my case inside out. Nobody can tell me anything. And there's certainly no one from social media that can contest what I know.
Yeah.
Because they don't have what I have, paperwork-wise and documents and everything else. And the feds, all I can tell you is they don't wear the white hat. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks they're there to protect you. Just look at our former president. Whether you like him or you don't, what they're doing is despicable. Mm-hmm. Despicable. Fight the guy fair and square. If you really think he shouldn't be president, fight him on the merits of the country. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not to say he's a great guy or not. I don't have an opinion on that. You know what I mean? I don't have a vote anyway.
In terms of, in terms of going after a political opponent, you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It sets a precedent.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So like I see things from a way different perspective now than I ever did. And, I'm better for it. And I'm really.
Do you think it's because of the time you spent away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned a lot. I'm very peaceful now. I'm in bed at 8 o'clock, 7:30 at night, like an old man. I get hit on, forget it. My phone, like 99 problems, but that ain't one.
Right.
Whether you think I'm good looking or not good looking, this and that, it doesn't matter, man. Listen.
Yeah.
They get it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And, but I'm really at peace, man. And, I wish the you the best. I really do. I hope they come back. I hate watching I just hate watching other teams sort of steal our bravado.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still love the Lucifer thing. Yeah, can you imagine I'm a purist?
When your buddy called you Lucifer?
I said, bro, you're the biggest sinner of all time in the history of collegiate sports. How could you make that comment?
Yeah.
I go, I thought we were friends. He goes, what does that have to do with the truth?
That's a funny, that was a funny line. I get what you're saying. It's just the way it comes out is it's very ironic.
Like Tony Montana saying, listen, there needs to be stricter.
Exactly.
There needs to be stricter money laundering laws.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're a funny dude, man. We could wrap it up, but appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah.
Definitely a crazy journey.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen.
I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no,
Seriously.
thank you. It was good here. And a lot of people have come after me to speak. You're really the first guy I've spoken to.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
Man, I must have probably, I'm not even exaggerating, 1,500 DMs.
Wow.
1,500 DMs, man. Everyone wants to be on a podcast and this and that. And, there's certain things I just got to protect because, I'm about to do a massive documentary. Mm-hmm. It's going to cover a lot of ground, and it's, people are going to have their opinion, but whatever I can tell you is it's the truth. And at that point, judge me for what it really is.
Right.
And that's it. And that's the real story, not ESPN 30 for 30 part 2, not hearsay and the Miami Herald, whose biggest supporter is the University of Miami.
Should get you and Billy one-on-one. That would be interesting.
I'm up to anything. Like
you would do it.
I'll stand in front of anyone. Man, anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. You know what I mean? You see my personality. Do I look like I'm...
But if you just bring the receipts, like...
Got them all.
Yeah.
I got them all.
I think that would be useful.
I'm always available.
Dude, that would blow up.
Well, we'll talk when this is over.
Yeah.
And I'll give you some thoughts.
Yeah. Well, if you got anything to plug, your book or anything, you just want to let that kind of.
No, that's gonna ride, man. Don't worry, they're gonna
people will watch.
Oh no, they're gonna know.
Yeah,
I ain't clout chasing.
Yeah.
They'll come find me
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, my pleasure,
fun.
man.
Yeah, great talking to you.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Same here.